What's going on, boys? I get the NFL $100 to over $1,200 parlay for you guys for NFL Sunday tomorrow. Obviously, before we get into those picks, if you boys could please drop a like and subscribe, that would help me out a ton. Any kind of interaction I get from you guys helps me out a whole lot. It takes you guys 2 seconds. If you could please do that before getting these picks, I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, I do want to talk to you guys about all these deposit matches, all this free money that you guys can get with these codes on Chalkboard, Parlay, Play, and Sleeper. Obviously, 100% deposit match up to $100 for all three of these apps when you sign up with code SBL. Obviously, you get some other stuff over on Chalkboard. With code SBL, you do, again, get that 100% deposit match up to $100. You also get one exclusive free pick over on Parlay Play. Again, deposit match, but you guys also get a $5 free game at sign up. That $5 free game does not require a deposit at all. You get it no matter what you put in. And then over on Sleeper, again, deposit match, and then you also get a $20 free entry. Again, no deposit required for that. You get it no matter how much money you put in. So very good deals on all three. Again, 100% deposit match up to $100 for all three of them. That means if you guys sign up for all three of these apps with code SBL, you guys can make $300 in less than 5 minutes. Super quick, super easy. Absolutely love it. But as far as where you guys can bet on Parlay Play Chalkboard, I don't have the sleeper map for you guys yet, but Parlay Play, any of these yellow states will absolutely work for Parlay Play, and the same thing goes for the Chalkboard map. Any of these green states, you guys can absolutely use Chalkboard in those states. Obviously, did want to show you guys this before we get into the picks, though. Over here on the left is for Parlay Play. Just basically a graphic showing you guys that anything more than a two-man that you guys put in on Parlay Play, you guys get percentage boost based off of that. So the payouts on Parlay Play can rack up very, very quickly depending on what kind of picks you put in. So super sweet deal there. And then over here is the Chalkboard promo page. Basically, they will give you guys slashed lines, boosted payouts for every sport every single day. Does not matter what sport it is. Obviously, NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever your guys' niche is, there's always going to be promos for that. So again, very sweet deal over on both of them. I'm gonna pop over to Prizepicks. I would like to say one thing before we get into these picks, though. Our picks for today kind of got screwed on at least one of them. Obviously, our first pick of the day was Kenny Johnson over 50.5 receiving yards. He got hurt in the first quarter, did not play the rest of the game at all, not a single snap the rest of the game. They did not reboot him, so that's complete BS. We got screwed by Prizepicks on that one. Katron Allen hit by an absolute mile, so that was awesome for us. Ahmad Hardy hit by, again, an absolute mile. Great for us as well. And then Noah Whittington just had a very rough game, so that was a legit miss. The Kenny Johnson one, though, I do want to point out that that's just complete BS. We got screwed. That's not a reboot. That's absolutely stupid. But overall, not a terrible day. So definitely take it. But with that being said, going to jump into some of these NFL picks. Some pretty good matchups. Obviously, a lot of injuries going around the league and whatnot. And that actually leads me into my first pick. It's going to be Devin Neal over 41.5 rushing yards. Alvin Kamara's out. This is the first game that Devin Neal is getting a full starting load at running back. They really like the direction this guy's going in. Obviously, they're giving him more and more touches per game. He's playing against Miami. Very, very bad rushing defense. Quite literally the third worst ranked rushing defense in the entire NFL. So 41.5 yards for a starting running back to get to should not be too tough. Obviously, the Saints don't have the craziest rushing game. Obviously, he is a rookie. There's some factors that go into this, but I am more than willing to bet on any starting running back in the league, no matter who it is, to put up 42 yards against this terrible Miami rushing defense. So really, really like that. And then obviously, there's nothing crazy in the cards where like Miami's going to go up by 30 points and they have to throw the whole game just because two bad teams playing against each other. It's going to be probably a slower paced game. So I really like 41.5 for Devin Neal there. Then our second pick is going to be Travis Etienne. We're taking him over 63.5 rushing yards. This is another one that I really, really like. He's putting up really good numbers virtually the entire season against honestly some decent teams. There are some misses in here against really good teams. Obviously, Houston's got a top 5 rushing defense. Same with LA right there. But, I mean, Arizona's not bad. Chargers aren't bad, and he's getting good yards against them. So I think that against a very, very weak Tennessee Titans team tomorrow, I think that there's absolutely no way he goes under 63.5 yards. This line's in an absolutely ridiculous spot. 64 yards should be very, very easy to get against Tennessee when he's putting up 86 against Arizona, 73 against Chargers, 84 against the Raiders, who honestly the Raiders' rushing defense sucks too, but they're somehow better than the Titans. So Another really, really comfortable pick right there. And then our third pick is going to be Jaylen Warren. We're taking him over his rush attempts line at 14 and a half. Honestly, for Jaylen Warren, this is kind of high, but they're playing Buffalo. Buffalo is literally the worst ranked rushing defense in the entire league. They absolutely suck. Four out of their last six opponents, their starting running back has flown over this number. The only two that haven't are just games that their opponents getting absolutely smacked and they got to throw. So I really, really like where this line is at. Obviously, Kenneth Gainwell is getting some more carries and whatnot, but in this game against Chicago, when Jaylen Warren had 18 carries, that's still a game where Kenneth Gainwell had 10. So even with Gainwell getting in the double digits of carries, they're still going to want to run the ball against a defense that they know is really, really bad at stopping the run. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is back this week, though, but he's old as hell. He's got a fractured wrist at this point. Obviously, hasn't healed in 1 week. So, fractured wrist, he's old as time. I think that they're still going to want to emphasize the run game in this, but they do have the option to pass. But again, they're going to want to run it just because Aaron Rodgers is in rough shape right now. They want to get him as healthy as possible if they want to try and make a playoff run. But I do actually have to switch up here for our fourth and final pick. We got to go to NFL first half. Same kind of thing as last week when we took JSN over on receiving yards in the first half. Taking him over again. This line is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, slamming like every single week. I really like where this line's at for him. He averages almost 70 receiving yards per game in the first half. Ridiculous numbers. But they're playing Minnesota. Minnesota has the third worst ranks passing defense in the entire league. I want to say country just because I've been doing so much college football, but league. They are the third worst passing defense in the league as far as coverage specifically is concerned. They have, again, the third worst coverage ranking in the entire league. So 51 and a half for the honestly consensus best wide receiver in the league at the moment. Should be very, very easy, especially again, he is averaging just a little bit over 69 yards in every first half this year. So really, really like that. 51 and a half seems like extremely low, but I will absolutely take it. Obviously, these are the four picks I've got for you guys. Some really comfortable, just honestly safe picks. Devin Neal, more than 41 and a half rushing yards against Miami. He's their starting running back this week. And Miami's rushing defense has been absolutely horrible. Then Travis Etienne, more than 63 and a half. Same kind of situation. He's playing against Tennessee. He's been pretty solid all year. So I don't really see a way that he goes under 64 when he's been putting up really good yards against some much better teams. So love that pick. And then Jaylen Warren, more than 14 and a half rushing attempts. Teams love to run against the Bills. The Bills' rushing defense is absolutely horrible, and everybody knows it, so they take advantage of that. Obviously, four of their last six opponents have been taking advantage of that. The only two that didn't really didn't have the option because they had to throw. But that leads me into our fourth and final pick, JSN, more than 51 and a half first half receiving yards. I really like this line as well. Again, he averages almost 70, so love that. But $100 turns into 1,000 over here on Prizepicks. Again, they're screwing you just like they screwed us with the Kenny Johnson pick today. How they didn't reboot that. That's so dumb. They're screwing us with payout. Obviously, same exact, I will say, virtually same exact parlay here over on Parlay Play. Obviously, Jaylen Warren's the same. Devin Neal's a couple yards lower. Etienne's the exact same. JSN's a couple yards higher. So really just virtually the same exact parlay. You guys are getting paid an extra $223 just for putting it in on this app as compared to Prizepicks. So again, I really do urge you guys, if you're going to put it in on any app, do it on Parlay Play, especially with it's a four-man like this. You guys are going to get paid way more just because of that percentage boost that I showed you guys at the beginning. But with that being said, that's really all I've got for you guys. So I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.